Hello, everyone. This is Hairy Neck.
And this is the less hairy Justin.
It's that guy. It's that guy
Yeah,
with the face and the.
yeah, with the beard. There you go.
And welcome back to another episode of the Hangar Bay. It's been a long time for one of these. In actual fact, let's just talk about that first, because frankly, I've been feeling a bit of burnout recently. That's why there was a bit of gaps in the videos. Actually, the video I released before this one, I spoke a bit about what was going on with the channel, that kind of stuff. But I feel like these new rules changes with AMG sort of gave me the bit of the kick up the arse I needed to sort of like, hey, let's actually look at this new point system and actually just have a bit of fun with it, because it's sort of new and interesting. And probably good, probably bad. I don't know. Let's find out.
I mean, I've got to say, I've personally been living under a rock. I've been getting a bit more into the D&D side of things, so I actually don't know that much about the new 2.5, but I am
Indeed.
willing to learn.
I've only read about it theoretically, so this is a good learning opportunity for both of us. So actually, just on that note, it's probably worth mentioning, as we're sort of analysing lists going forward, we're probably going to be doing it with our 2.0 brains, and we're probably thinking, maximising stuff purely for dogfighting, and obviously that's not where the game is heading in a direction nowadays.
Because I was going to say,
Yeah.
that now that because we've got the different, what is there, like you got to find the droids, or you've got to do other certain things.
Exactly.
Like, is one list necessarily going to be good for all of them, or is it going to be? Yeah, this is something that we're going to
Honestly,
have to learn.
we're going to have to find out. I'm not going to sort of speculate on what's great. I mean, you could say, oh, well, you're wanting a list with more maneuverability, or larger bases are better for, picking up stuff. I don't know. We're in that sort of Wild West, which is kind of exciting, and I don't know. I enjoy that. Actually, before we continue, before we actually have a look at some lists, right here below, sorry, Justin, you can't see this. You're not in front of my computer, but right below on my computer and on the recording, we have the new Yet Another Squad Builder, as they've deemed it 2.5. By the way, it's not actually officially 2.5. That's just a colloquial term that we use as X-Wing players, because it's a pretty significant change that AMG's making, but it doesn't mean we have to buy new product. It's all done. It's a rules change within the existing tokens and templates and all that kind of stuff. Just for you newer players that might be getting a bit confused by what's going on here. And the key difference is, we no longer count up to 200 points with all our pilots and upgrades. We now only count to 20 points with the cost of our pilots. For example, here, let's have a look at a Fang fighter. And you can see here, we have a couple of little numbers here. So, for example, if we were to open up Fen Rao, we have two numbers. 7 being the amount of points that Fen Rao costs, and 12 being the amount of points he is able to use on upgrades. So there's now a fixed cost on pilots, no matter how much they invest in upgrades. Which pretty much means, from a meta play point of view, you probably should be maximizing the use of those upgrades at all times. It streamlines list building, and it makes that a bit easier for newer players, which I really do respect. But we also have to appreciate the fact that we no longer have the option to really take lighter or heavier builds on stuff. It pretty much always lands in a certain point range. My biggest concern as a player is it just means that all pilots are going to have the meta build, and there'll be less variation. But we'll see how it pans out. I think that's something that can be fixed in points changes later on.
I don't know.
What do you think, Dustin?
I still think that there's going to be a certain amount of, let's say with Boba Fett, he's got 22 points. Like, that's a lot of points that you can use. But, so there's going to be more options insofar as how you're going to play him. But if you then look at an Interceptor, that might only have 6 or 8 points. And in which case, you're therefore a lot more limited in how you're going to use those points. So you're going to have more specific, just that ship build, because you've only got X amount of points to use.
And that's right. For example, Suntafel has 12 points, but the low-end generic only has 2 points. So you've got a lot less variation. And yeah, you make a good point. Arguably, in the ships that have more points to spend on upgrades, you have a few more options in terms of how you're going to balance it out. That's a good point. I kind of worry about Boba Fett at 10 points. That's a lot. That's half a
Yeah,
list.
but
I know.
Boba Fett-
He's had his time in the sun. I get it. I just
and
I
look,
really love the
you're
pilot.
going to have your Gauntlet fighter in another couple of days. So then you're going to have Boba
I
Fett at
know.
10 points, Maul at, what was it, 9?
Actually,
And,
on that note, we already have the points for the Gauntlet Fighter and the Razor Crest as well. So you can start list building and testing those right away. I know some places in the world already have them. Here in Australia, we're expecting them at the end of March. In which case, I'll do my unboxing and everyone will go like, oh, Nick, that's old news. We don't care about that anymore. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. 'Cause it's cool. And I've been waiting for these ships. Seriously. Like these two
we've
specifically.
been talking about, the Gauntlet fighter.
Yeah.
That was back in 1.0. We were
I was talking about it in my very first video on the channel. I said I want the Gauntlet Fighter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like the first or second video, I'm not kidding. And the second the Razor Crest was on screen, like, yep, it's got to be an X-Wing. Late 2019 when The Mandalorian started airing, so, yeah.
Now we've had
can't wait for that
Mandalorian
stuff.
2.5, so, it's about time it comes out.
Indeed. Okay, we should probably continue on, Justin, because we're doing that thing where we talk for ages before we get into stuff. I'll make sure I put time codes down in the bottom so those who just want to see the lists and talk about stuff can skip straight to it. That's all good. So for this first video, as you know, this just came out of the blue. I haven't asked for submissions or anything anywhere but on the Patreon Discord. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about lists submitted by the people on the Patreon Discord. And we made the announcement about a week ago, and 5 of you submitted a whole bunch of lists, so we'll do one from each of those patrons and just sort of go from there. And we're not doing anything faction specific or anything, we're just diving into these like random factions, whatever. Let's just throw paint at the wall and see what sticks. Without any further ado, Justin, we're starting off with an Imperial list by Psych J7. JJ, how you going, mate? We have a lot of things. This is going to be a running theme. It always seems like we can do way more with this point system, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but I guess we'll find out. We have Night Beast and Obsidian Squadron Pilot in the TIE Fighter, Lytton Dree in the Heavy TIE, Nash Windrider and Turfanier on the TIE Interceptor, and Commandant Goran in the TIE Interceptor as well. There's lots to talk about here, Justin.
So with Commandant Goran, that means that you get to give any TIE fighter extra evade. Lytton Dre actually means that they get the ability to get an evade, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially on a medium-based ship that doesn't...
Yeah, very, very handy. I mean, it's only got one green dice, so if you just roll an evade, it doesn't do anything. It's not like first edition where you just add a result.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, it's always good. If you want Turfanier to, like, take a focus to have a better attack, then evade, then YOLO out of there with a boost after Turfanier attacks. Yeah, seems really, really decent. So in terms of, like, overall support, Commandant Goran, at the start of the engagement phase, basically picking any one of your ships so long as it's somewhere nearby, giving them an evade and taking away a non-stress red token rather, and also Lytton Dree, giving your friendly ships rerolls. Yeah, just a good wholesome swarm, Justin.
Well,
a wholesome swarm.
And also Lytton has the ability, because it is a friendly ship at range 0 to 2, it means that it's also getting the ability to go off as well.
Seems pretty dope. Pretty dope. It's weird, you've got to be in the defender's side arc. I guess if you're going to do some cool flanking maneuvers, if you like move your squad around and go around the side and do a whole heap of nonsense, that seems pretty decent. Yeah. Like Night Beast is just a good value machine, just getting free focus tokens.
Yeah, I like the idea of these, the TIE Fighters actually just, costing 2 points, but then not being able to put
0,
any...
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I like that.
It's gonna, it's ultra streamlined, so what 2 points? It's 2 out of 20, so it's first edition 10 points, second edition 20 points. Yeah, that's like, it's really, really cheap. It's actually cheaper than it was before. By a significant margin as well.
Yeah.
And like Turfanier just being the quasi ace in this build. Obviously, we can't fit something like Suntir in, but if we're going to run a 6-ship build, this seems pretty decent. Moving at the same initiative as Commandant Goran. Unfortunately, not able to get the benefit of Commandant Goran, but that's okay. I'm just having a look at some of the weird upgrades on this. Again, there's no point in not taking upgrades if you can fit them in. So, like, Commandant Goran in this instance has a shield upgrade on it. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd almost, like, a lot of the time with shield upgrade, you just wouldn't take it because of how expensive it is, but slap it on there, son. Why not, eh?
Yeah. Indeed. Well, what else? I suppose realistically you could put afterburners on.
Yeah, it's one more hit on a very, very difficult to hit ship. It often is the difference between it dying and not dying. Just one more point of damage. 3 to 4 is pretty significant on the Titan Scepter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about Imperial Swarms, but I want to see them sort of being meta-worthy again. I feel like Imperial Swarms being meta-worthy is a good sign for where the meta's heading. Just like good value ships. We're not doing anything janky. There's no ultra combos. It's just pilot abilities that work alongside Imperial Swarms, like benefit from the more and more ships you fly alongside it, and that just seems good. It seems like it's this good basic game design that is very, very cool.
One of our people on our Discord was talking about how the fact that most lists these days are going to look at at least having sort of 5 ships sort of thing, because it's so easy to put points in that way.
It makes a lot of sense, yeah. Especially like when Night Beast is 2 points and stuff like that. It's like, just chuck that in. Like, it's legit. It just seems legit. All right, let's move on to a scum list.
Your old pal, Boba Fett.
That's right. Guess who's back, baby? By Sinik. Yes, how you going, Sinik? Boba Fett with a couple of Fang Fighters. Fang Fighters are Mandalorian Royal Guards. A couple of these new cards that we've just got in the expansion pack. I literally spoke about this in the previous video, which at the point of recording this, I haven't yet released. Time is weird on YouTube. It's very, very confusing. Let's just refresh what this pilot does. While a friendly non-small ship defends, if you're in the attack arc, you may gain a deplete token and a strain token. The defender may change one result to an evade result. Is it good against... You right?
Yes. No, that is good. I'm sighing because that means Boba Fett's going to keep on living.
Oh, if we... It's one of these things. I know, like, you put this much on Boba Fett, but, like, my biggest concern with this is I want, with this ability, to be flying at least alongside 2 ships that can take advantage of it. But then this way you've got 2 Mandalorian Royal Guards. No, I think this is the right way to go about it. It is a flavor win for sure. I'm not doubting that, Justin. Not at all. But it's pretty legit. And also Boba Fett's got Maul, so it's... and Contraband Cybernetics. Like, I think this is a pile of jank, but I absolutely love this.
I don't know.
I might actually have to try this. So which slave one is this? Oh, this is the slave one that came in Jango Fett's slave one pack. So perform a forward attack. If you defend defender's rear arc, you may change a hit to a crit. Alongside Fearless. Oh, that's interesting. Putting both of those on. So if the defender is facing you, or it's not facing you, you may get a bonus either way.
Yeah, you're just covering all bases. I like that.
And the other slave one is just banned outright, so they can't take it anyway. I mean, look, it's 0 points. Take the upgrade. Why not? Why not, eh? Proxy Mines, because Proxy Mines are awesome, but Contraband Cybernetics, it's something... I spoke about this card a lot in the previous video as well. Just like cheesing out stress tokens and just taking more and more and more and more actions. I want to try this because of how much we're supporting Boba Fett on this, and Boba Fett's it's just the funnest pilot to fly for the person flying it. That is not their opponent. It's really cool.
Like Boba Fett's just gonna fly around, do his thing. Like the Fang Fighters, like they're still Fang Fighters.
Oh, they're
going
still
to
great.
do damage.
They're still Initiative 4. They still have Concordia face-off built baked in. They've also got Fearless. I actually tried to build like this, like back in first edition when they first came out. I'm like, yeah, let's get Boba Fett and a couple of Fang Fighters Fearless. It's like, it's flavor. And it sucked. But
well, I think now that you've got that Beskar reinforced plating.
Yeah, I was just looking at this. While you defend, if you're in the if the attacker's in your forward arc, before you would be dealt a face-up damage card, spend a charge to deal it face down, or 2 to just discard it outright. That's cool, because if your opponent is smart and they go for the Fang Fighters first, which you probably should do against this list, you can just nope. Like, they get 1 crit through and you just go, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. And it's great. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh. I know a lot of people get salty about Fearless on Boba Fett. Like, I've used it quite a lot, and this is just speaking as a person who's flown Boba Fett in second edition a lot. I keep gravitating towards just not putting anything on Boba Fett. Even Fearless, it's got some great moments, but in a tournament, it often does nothing. You just don't get those shots, and you're not really. You got to try and make sure that you leave yourself open to different strategies. And if you're sort of trying to play into Fearless, you can kind of outplay yourself a little bit. But if Boba Fett has 22 points and he must take 22 points, of course take Fearless. Like, it's a no-brainer now.
I think it also then works with, like, they've got Fearless, but then you've also got the Slave 1. So if one thing happens, you've got the other one.
That's a very good point. And I must admit, I haven't played this in a tournament since that Slave 1 came out. We got to get back to actual real tabletop tournaments, man. I miss it. Also, Maul, because just giving Boba a focus, a force token. Yeah. Cool. You suffer damage, you gain a stress to recover a force. Yeah, it's cool. Who cares? It's just giving him a force. Yeah. Rerolls, focus conversions built into the pilot. It's just, Boba Fett's a dumb pilot, and the fact that you've got
contraband cybernetics to go with Maul as well.
Yeah.
Like it just works.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Okay, let's keep moving on. This is Beep Bop Boop Beep Boop Beep. I've tried to read this so many times. I'm just going to leave that in the video because I'm not editing it out because I'm just awesome like that. By Kidney. Razor Crest. We can actually build stuff with the Razor Crest now, which is really, really cool. So this has got Q9O on the Razor Crest and a couple of IGs, IG88A and IG88B. So, of course, we have IG88D on the Razor Crest so it can share the abilities. Just in case you weren't aware, that's how this one works. You take double calculates. So all 3 of these ships can just double calculate, which is arguably better than focus. I know it depends on the situation, but oftentimes double calculates is better to take than a focus token. And that way, Q9O can also share around calculate tokens, which already works with Q9's ability, which is really, really cool with IG88-9's ability. At the start of the engagement phase, just choose a nearby friendly ship and whoop, pass them a focus token. Calculate token. And IG88B allows you to shoot with a cannon if you miss an attack, which is really, really cool. As such, they all have cannons on them. Just slapped on the iron cannon on the Razor Crest because, again, why wouldn't you? You have the points, just spend them. That's pretty cool. So, what's the order of attacking here? Yeah, so because Q9O is Initiative 5, it's going to shoot first, not making it more or less likely to hit. Also, L337 on Q9O, this is interesting. While you're defending from this card, if the attacker re-roll all attack dice, and if you're not shielded, decrease the difficulty of your bank maneuvers. So let's have a look at the Razor Crest. I've never flown one before. All the banks are white. That's pretty cool. Okay.
So changing them to blue.
Yeah, that means you can do Talon rolls and then do blue banks out of it. You're not forced to do a straight maneuver that way. That seems like a pretty good option on the Razor Crest. I know when L337 originally came out, I was like, keep an eye on this, keep an eye on anything that needs blue banks, and hey, look, there it is. It's one of those cards that keeps getting better the more and more ships gets launched, and
The problem I see with the Q9 is the suppressive gunner.
Suppressive Gunner. Is this the one I don't like? While perform an attack, you may spend a focus result. If you do, the defender gains deplete tokens unless it suffers 1 damage. Oh yeah, this is the one I don't like.
But
I remember...
you don't have focus.
No, you spend a focus result. So it's not spend a focus.
Result.
Yeah, so you
Sorry.
roll dice.
Yeah.
I don't love it on this because you have the ability to share around so many calculate tokens. You're often going to be able to capitalize on focus results. So if you do that, a defender gains a deplete token unless it suffers 1 damage. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can use it. You can use it to intentionally miss to then let you refire with the cannon. That's a little combo we've got going on there, and then they've got a deplete token for the rest of the round. I don't know. Like, this card underwhelms me. It's still not whelming me, Justin. I'm not whelmed by this card. 7 points, man. 7 points.
Obviously, people think it's good.
Yes, I'm constantly called out on this, but I just my response is no. You're all idiots. I'm the smart one. Everyone else in the world's an idiot. So I'm just like scrolling through other gunners. Like, would Greedo even be better? I don't know. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
No.
But what's 7 points? What's 7 points? Let's get rid of that. Go away. Shh. Contraband Cybernetics is 3 points. That's awesome. Let's put Contraband Cybernetics on this, Justin. And then let's go for a talent. We can do, marksmanship. Hotshot Tail Blaster. Oh, it's cool.
Oh,
That's
this is
cool.
interesting. I just realised the Q9 also has 2 talents.
Indeed. Now, because we have Razor Crest on here, which lets you just like sneak in an extra illicit. If we take that off, does it? It has 2 illicits plus 1 more for Razor Crest. So that upgrade there, Razor Crest, allows you just to sneak in a free illicit under Razor Crest and just turn it face up at somewhere time.
Then, So what's the extra illicit? So that's where you put your contraband cybernetics.
Rigged cargo chute? Nah. Contraband cybernetics is only 3 points. You could take feedback array. and your opponent doesn't know that you have feedback array. For those of you that don't know, feedback array is a fairly janky card which saw a bit of play in first edition because you could just like swarm it with Z95s, just crash into your opponent's ship and just like zap them. The list was literally called bug zappers. The quality of that card goes up if your opponent doesn't know that you have it.
Yeah.
Deadman Switch. Hey, that's interesting because you can choose not to reveal it if you're worried you're going to explode next to your own ships. Plus, your opponent doesn't know you have it that way, so they may fall into a bit of a trap there. It's what you got to do, Justin. What you got to do? You got to take you got to take Razor Crest. You got to get Dead Man Switch. And you've got to be extremely secretive. Like, if you play a 6-round tournament, you got to make sure no one in that tournament knows about it. What you do, you flip it face up and you look your opponent dead in the eye and go, if you tell anyone, I will hunt you down.
Just pull out some like IG-11 lines or something like that when you throw up the Dead Man Switch. Yeah,
that's
just like I must explode now.
I must explode. Oh, that's really dumb. By the way, I'm not at all suggesting this is good. I'm just suggesting this is really cool, and you will look really cool, and everyone will think you're the coolest person in the game shop when you do it. Guaranteed by Nick to win friends and make your enemies weep. But okay, just one more thing about this list. We're trying to make the triple IG thing work, and I have so much respect for that. This is a cool idea. I love how Q90 works. You get the extra calculate or barrel roll. That works great with IG88A. It's interesting because you don't have to put IG88D on a droid pilot. You can put it on any pilot because it adds calculate. It still works with IG88A, but it just happens to work great with Q90. Yeah, more lists with Richard Ioardi in it. I think that's a good lesson to take from this one. Kidney, if this actually works out great, can we talk about it on the Discord, man? This looks really good.
Yeah,
This looks really good.
please tell us what the illicit is that you put on it.
Yes. Let's move along. We have a Republic list here. No, sorry, this is... Sorry, I apologise.
Come on.
Sacrilege.
These are the good guys. These are good guys, Nick.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that. This is by Sir Thomas No More. It's got a few droid tri-fighters and a Belbalub with Captain Sear. So all the tri-fighters are fearsome predators. And they have identical build. Let's just quickly go through that.
Yeah.
Elusive, collision detector, hull upgrade, and interceptor booster. And Sear has Kraken, so we have a bit of a commandery thing going on with that. By the way, Kraken allows you in the end phase, you may choose up to 3 friendly ships at range 0 to 3. Each of those ships does not remove a calculate token. Cool. Do we have a good way of using those?
Well, so the tri-fighters are always going to have an extra token on them, and Fearful Prey is what the Fearsome Predators give. So Fearful Prey reads, after you defend against an enemy Fearsome Predator, if you did not spend at least 1 green token during the attack, gain 1 strain token. So these are just...
Aggressive.
You've got collision detected because you're just flying over anything and you don't care, and...
Yeah, we can keep formation better with that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. And the hull upgrade because, tri-fighters are squishy.
A bit squishy, yeah.
Which is why you have the hull upgrade and the elusives to sort of keep it going that
elusive,
little bit longer.
Yeah, it does have natural evades, also barrel roll into red evade. Again, we're sort of like TIE Interceptor-ish in the way we sort of use these things. Yeah. And it's got 15 out of 16 points. Shield upgrade's worth 6 points. Yeah, so we can't switch out hull upgrade for shield upgrade. That makes sense. I'm sure Sir Thomas No More would have thought of that. It's one of those things. Do we have anything for 1 point here we can just squeeze in? Nah, of course not. Yeah, that's really, really solid. That's really, really cool. So,
and I love the fact that Imperium plating has become 0 points. That's it makes me just want to fly Grievous so much more.
And it makes a lot of sense also putting the Fearsome Predator as a 3 of and trying to maximize that as best as possible.
Yeah.
See, this is a great example of something I'd love to see the old point structure and see if is this 220 or 230? Did we just miss out in the old point structure? 3 of these together, if they assign the Fearful Prey, it means that any one of those can capitalize off any one of the Fearful Prey. So it makes sense to put as many of them as together as possible, which is 3 of them. Justin's just quickly building out in the old point structure.
So you can't have hull upgrade and impervium plating. So
okay, so it's just a little bit over.
So the list without a hull upgrade is 215 points. So
yeah, okay. So you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Suddenly we have a relevant pilot to carry Kraken and 3 of these things, and that's great.
So what? That's an extra. Let's say 20 points that you've been able to put on.
I don't think this is the most busted thing we can do with this new point structure, but the fact that something was that close to sort of working and suddenly we can just do it. This is the kind of things that made the Nantex broken because the points just lined up perfectly and suddenly we could fill like a billion of them with the right upgrade. Again, not saying that this is going to be broken in particular, but it's just interesting. It's like, oh, cool. So I'm guessing people have been thinking about this. Maybe this patron was, and it's like, hey, I can do this thing I want to do suddenly. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Dig it a lot. Be curious to see how we can go with droid vulture swarms after this as well. We'll maybe look at that in a different video. In the meantime, let's look at one more list. This is a Republic list for realsies. This time.
Not the good guys this time.
That's right. This is by ETA 2 main, which unfortunately does not feature in ETA 2. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Have I made this joke every time I've done a list by this patron?
See, actually, I think
might
it's
have.
only been... this is the first time I've heard it.
No, I know I've done one of their lists a couple times before. Anyway, that's irrelevant. This has a couple of Naboo handmaidens, Contrail in the Nimbus class V-Wing, Dine Elbager. The Latte Machine with Hawk and Mace Windy Boy in the Delta 7 Aether Sprite. There's a lot to go through here, Justin. And
what
I
does
am not familiar with
do?
these at all.
So we've got Hawk, which just keeps all your ships alive, and you've just filled that to the brim with points, and I think that's the right way to go with it.
Just like good value stuff, like cluster missiles, 5s, yeah, Ghost Company. Let's take extra attacks. Hawk, the ability at the start of the end phase, each friendly ship at range 0 to 1 that has revealed maneuver speed 3 to 5 may gain a strain to perform barrel roll or boost. These are some aggressive frames as well. Like, this isn't like, the synergy. This is just like, this is a good collection of ships. This is going to shoot real good.
It's going to do the thing.
It's going to do the thing. 6 ships with a latte. Yeah, that's great. This seems really good. Like, I'm suspicious of this new point structure when I see stuff like this. I'm like, this is quite good. This is quite good indeed.
I've just realised the X-23 tracer threads, your Naboo handmaidens have the R3 astromech on
I
it
remember
as
when
well.
these were free. Oh no, they were 1 point in first edition. That's right, which is basically free. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that with the R3, and you've also got Contrail with Besh, which just means, this is really good. There's so much synergy going on with this.
I love that Contrail is just a free pilot. And I love Besh is free. It's so good. I've spoken about this before. If you take target locked, it's essentially just attacking with 3 red dice at that point. Like, it's almost better in some ways. It's really weird. Besh is just such a great little upgrade card.
Wait, why is it 3 red dice?
Oh, because what I'm saying is mathematically it's similar to rolling 3 red dice. Because you basically roll 2 red dice and you're going to flip the result.
You're always going to get 2 hits with it, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah. You can't get 3 hits. That's the fundamental difference between actually rolling 3 red dice. Yeah. So, in my brain, like, to me, this is 2.5 dice. Just take target locks and attack. It's good. It's really good. 2 points as well. Like, Initiative 5. Like, it's kind of TIE Fighter-y in a lot of ways. I
just realised it's Initiative 5. That's really...
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's almost a shame that Rick Olay is not on this list. Could we put Rick Olay in? No, Rick Olay is worth 5 points.
Yeah.
Sadly, can't get Rick in this.
You could drop Contrail to change Denis to Olay. But why? Why would you do that?
No. Yeah, but then you wouldn't have 2 5s, and that's the point. You'd have the 5s. You'd have 5s and 5s. Fives and a 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, so at the present moment, you've still got 5s and a 5.
Oh, look, Justin.
You're doing all right.
Look, munitions failsafe. Remember this card?
I know.
Oh, you can.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun to go with the X-23? Because you just go, you roll your dice and you're like, oh, that's terrible.
That's right. The X-23, I suppose, and cluster missiles. If you...
Yeah.
You may cancel all dice. Oh, so it's not if you miss. Oh, I'm thinking first edition. Like, if you just miss with a missile or torpedo, you don't lose them. But now it's like, I rolled a focus. I'll have those dice back, please.
Yeah.
And just get it back again. Which is good with cluster missiles, because you can shoot 2 attacks and... Yeah, it's good. Oh, it's good. I like this. I like that this new point structure might actually help us, just appreciate new cards and go, hey, remember this terrible piece of jank from first edition? Well, what is old is new again. There is no way you could field this in the old point structure. It's just, nah.
No, I'm not even going to bother trying.
I think moving forward, what might be the case is this is the meta stuff. Like, this is the stuff that just abuses the point system. And look, this was the same thing at the start of 2.0. Yeah, there wasn't this big rules ethos change with 2.0. It was a more polished version of 1.0. This is like a fundamental change of the ethos of some of the rules moving forward with AMG. But having said that, like, it's going to be the same thing, and there's going to be some teething issues. There's going to be a few things that are just really, really dumb, and yeah, you put Han Solo on Boba Fett, and it's janky, and you cheese it, and everyone hates it, and they nerf Boba Fett for 10 times in a row, and then suddenly Boba Fett costs half a list, and Nick's sad, and we talk about it on YouTube.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
I don't know. I'm happy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Be happy, be positive. There's certainly a lot of toxicity going around in the X-Wing community right now. So I think, look, if you're the kind of person, that has genuine gripes with what AMG is doing, like, full respect to that, that's cool. Like, let's talk about it. Just be cool about it. There's too many people not being cool about it right now. And my whole thing is, look, if you don't like it, that's cool. You can back away, take a break, whatever you want to do. But I choose to be a force of positivity. And I say that as somebody who disagrees on a fundamental level with some of the things happening to the game right now. But I'm like, oh, well, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Who cares? It's fun.
Yeah.
That's my attitude. That's my attitude. That's both our attitude, by the sounds of it, having a chat with you. In any case, if you want us to talk about stuff in the Hangar Bay, I'm basically at this point with my video scheduling, because I'm trying to do a few different things. I'm not going to be hard committing to one of these a week like we used to. Apart from anything else, the schedule for my real job out there in the horrible real world sort of makes it very difficult for me to schedule things sometimes. So we'll sort of do this every now and then. If you have a suggestion on like what themes you want us to talk about moving forward. If you think, hey, this is absolutely busted and this is why, tell us in the comment section. What do you think of these lists? Just make the algorithm happy by going, hello, Nick. I think X-Wing is great because love commenter.
Well, also, let's start putting in, when you're putting in your list, say, look, this is the reason why I'm doing it. Like, I think it'll go well in this sort of mission. Things like that. Give us as much information as possible so that we can then tell the viewers, and everyone will be happy.
Also, because it's been a while, let me just show you this. I'm sorry, Justin, I know you can't see this. What you do, you build it in yet another squad builder, you go print export, go as text, copy, and put that in a comment, and just add a bit of a comment on that, on like what you like about it. It gives me a link so I can just see it, which makes it much easier for us to talk about in the show. We don't have to build it ourselves, that kind of thing. Like, we basically made this decision a while back while we were doing these videos, like, hey, if you don't give us a link, we're just not going to do it, because it takes us, with all the lists we have to talk about, it takes too long for us to sort it out. So just do what we're doing, get another squad builder. Please use it, another squad builder if you can. It's so much easier for us to use, and frankly, after being in this hobby for so long, I'm like, it's just the best one. Just use it. Don't bother with the official app, which doesn't exist anymore.
I forgot that happened.
There's no,
didn't? Yeah.
No. The official app doesn't have the new point structure.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with the new system anymore, unfortunately. So,
yeah.
Yet another squad builder. Massive shout out to, is it Rathios? The people that work on this. I don't know them that well. I'm sorry. I'm being very ignorant right about now. Yes, here we go. They're on the screen right here. All the people involved with it. Justin, you can definitely see this, can't you? Yes.
I can. I'm going to try and find it myself.
Yet another squad builder is updated and maintained by Stephen Kim. Stephen Kim, if you're watching, you're an absolute champion. Absolute champion. I think we should wrap up this video, Justin. I think I'm being a little bit silly, and that's, it's time to pack it in. Have a sip of tea and go to bed. It's time to pack it in. Yeah. So, with that, thank you all so much for joining us. Really appreciate the views, the comments, whatever. It's just awesome. It's nice to be back.
Nice to be able to chat about these things.
Is indeed. And with that, we'll both catch you in the next video.
Bye.
2-finger point.
That needs to be. You need to save that at the very end. Just like as it fades out, just like 2-finger point.